So for my 6th day of clinical, my patient had a TIA. So he had stroke-like symptoms without confirming that it was a stroke. So when I got to him on Tuesday, he had been there for a full 24 hours. So he was really just getting monitored and tested. And as of Monday night, he was still showing symptoms of like slurred speech. He said that he felt a little more numbness and tingling towards, like, geared towards his right side, but it was almost like he had the numbness and tingling in his lower extremities. So it wasn't like the exact symptoms of a stroke. So they decided to do an MRI, because they had already done one MRI and CT scan and hadn't found anything. So they ordered an MRI with and without contrast, and I was able to go see the MRI with him. No stroke activity or seizure activity was confirmed, but when I was doing his assessments, the doctor came in and had basically said that though they're gonna outrule it, or they're gonna say it wasn't a stroke, they said it could either have been baby seizures or a TIA. So I hadn't done a lot of research on like what a TIA really was. Like, obviously I gathered from him that he had like a lot of the stroke-like symptoms, but there was like no confirmation of what it was. So I did some research, and I basically found that it was mainly like they may have had something that led to like a small stroke. So like it could have been like blockage like in the artery that lost like blood flow to the brain, but didn't cause enough like damage to the cells. So like it may have like passed quickly or wasn't very long. So there's like not any confirmation through like looking at the cells that anything happened. But I was looking at this article called Transient Ischemic Attack Incidents with Geographic Information Systems Mapping for Stroke Prevention Interventions. This is by Cynthia Felix. So she basically found that they can do mapping with TIAs, and it basically tells you after so many days the incidents that a stroke may occur. So like basically TIAs, she explains that TIAs are considered a harbinger for a future stroke. And then she has how TIA showed the pool risk of stroke. So it's 3.1% after 2 days of having a TIA is your possibility of having an actual stroke. 5.2% after 7 days, and then around 10% at 30 to 90 days. So like it's a very low percentage that they're gonna have a stroke, but it's still like interesting to see how they're mapping out the fact that TIAs could be considered like almost like a sign that a future stroke could occur. So I definitely focused a lot on my care plan about how like even after discharge, it's very important that his wife and the people that he's working with understand like that he had these stroke-like symptoms, and then teach them what to look for, just to be able to monitor maybe his activity before an episode may occur, or to be able to catch the episode soon so that he can get the help that he needs. So I also was able to walk around with my nurse a lot and get to like watch her do some injections, some IVs. And one thing that I noticed was that with one patient, she had back surgery a day Monday as well. So she had back surgery and was in a lot of pain. And she had made a comment to me of like, you have to watch, because some people have surgery and all that they want is pain medicine. But then I had to make sure that like we're taking away the prejudices of people's past or what it may seem to us like. And even in the Spirituality of Nursing book, according to Mary Elizabeth O'Brien, on page 148, whenever she talks about spiritual needs of the patient in pain, she even states that pain is whatever the experiencing person says it is, existing whenever the experiencing person says it does. And then she also explains that pain is broadly understood as an uncomfortable sensation. So this is only something that the patient can tell us. We can't be judging them. We don't know how they're feeling, and so it's just a really good reminder for me to be like, to understand that no, it is not necessarily something that we can even step in to say anything, because if the patient says that there's pain, then there is pain. And then I wanted to focus on, for like my reflection piece, just reflecting on like self-reflection with being empathetic. So I also went into a patient's room with my nurse twice to help out, and it was the first time that I had ever experienced somebody that had family with them that was really upset. She was about to go off to surgery, and it was definitely like a reminder for me of like close, tight-knit families, the heartbreak that they were going through. So I actually broke down twice, and I think it's just really important for me, and it was something that was good for me to hear, is that like it's okay to break down, it's okay to have that empathetic side, because it just shows that you do care, and it's not just like a transactional thing like with patients, like, oh, they're here. And I never want to get to the point that I can't be empathetic for people, but I do think that I need to control it a little better, and I think that it will come with time. But I definitely wanted to do a little bit of self-reflection on that for my reflection topic, of the fact that it's okay to be empathetic, and over time I know it'll get better when I see it more. But overall, I had a really beneficial learning day, being able to follow the nurse, see what a day is like for her. And I definitely got like a broad like patient, like differences in patients. So I had one that had a back surgery, one that had the TIA, another one that was just there for like an acute illness. So it was definitely like a broad experience for me.